Hi, I'm Sal. I am a new reviewer. I will discuss about B-movies, films that probably people never heard of, or might, if you live in a place where a grindhouse exists. But the first films that we are going to review today are three from a very talented director that started in one TV show that this man is called Edgar Wright. He made a show called Space, which I have no idea what it's about, but probably you guys might know. And later on, he did an episode of the actor Simon Pegg. He was in one of the episodes when he was pretending that he was playing Resident Evil, and he was shooting zombies and stuff. And then he told Edgar to say like, "Hey, why don't we make a movie?" And that's what he did. In 2004, I got this. I got two more here, but we have to wait for that. Anyway, this is Shaun of the Dead, a 2004 movie, as it says in the box. This was like the first movie that started the zombie genre because it died in the 80s. This movie has a lot of references. It's got references from George Romero's old movies, the zombie ones. Night of the Living Dead, and you probably know what that is. And this zombie movie takes place when this guy over here, his name is Shaun. He has a girlfriend called Liz. They have separate, and he's a very unlucky guy. Like I said, he lost his girlfriend. He lives with two guys that are idiots, and I'm not going to say that much. But this movie's good. Go and watch it. I give it an 8 out of 10. It's a good movie. Now, the second one, after Shaun of the Dead was released, it got really popular, and even George Romero managed to put Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg into the movie. Well, Land of the Dead? Is that the movie? I don't know. But they were both in that movie, and they did a tiny cameo. Then later on, in 2007, 5 years by now, probably, they released Hot Fuzz. And the same, it was popular, and it's a story about an officer called Sergeant Angel, or whatever you like to call it, which he has to do some stuff in the town. Nick Foster's in it. He's in it. 8 out of 10. Yeah, there's nothing that much to say about it. It's just a normal police movie. But there was one scene that made the officers in England happy, which was the paperwork, that's what police officers did. It's good. 8 out of 10. It's an okay movie. Now this is a good one. This was released in 2013. And this is actually one of my favourites. The World's End is about a guy called Gary King. And the only story advice that I can give you is basically him and his mates going to during a pub by pub competition or something. That's all what I need to say. Oh, it's not in the movie. You gotta wait until the end of the movie until you see this. I give this a 10 out of 10. It's good. And a little bit more of the history. After these three movies were done, Edgar Wright got off somewhere and decided to make his own films. Then later on, his best friend Simon Pegg, he was later in the Mission Impossible films, and they were alright. Then later on, he was in Star Trek, which was J.J. Abrams' copycat of Star Wars. Even though he made Star Wars. Yeah, that was a thing. He wasn't in Star Wars though, thank goodness. Then later, Nick Frost was in a movie called Attack on the Block, which was just basically the hoodie genre, which is basically just guys in hoodies just fighting off slashers and stuff. later on, Edgar Wright did another movie called Baby Driver. Hold on a minute. Okay. Baby Driver was just a thing that existed. And later on, they haven't made anything, they haven't made any movies for that time. One of the actors was in The Lord of the Rings, in The World's End. And now, where are they now? Well, since we have this thing that I can't say it, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost did kind of like a commercial or something, which they basically talked about this thing. And it's funny. You guys you should watch it. I can't do a link, but...
What, you mean the virus?
Sorry, that's my mum. Go away, away, away. Anyway, that's the first review. This is supposed to be the subscribe button. Can you press it, please? Anyway, I hope you liked this video. See ya.